want to know about Anidaso 360, your organization. Let's just talk about more about that.
Yeah. So the word, Anidaso is hope, and tree, and I'm sure I'm mispronouncing it, but so we chose that because just like this conversation we're having, a colleague of mine, we had this conversation, and we said, we have to do something, right? We have to start something. So we started the organization. I met him in Ghana, actually. He's an American, Black American, and I met him in Ghana. We stayed connected over the years. And one day we were in my kitchen, and we were talking about problems just like we're talking about, and both of us in education. And we said, listen, we hear too many conversations that end with no application. And we challenged each other. We said, listen, if we don't do something about this, then we're just like everybody else. And the conversation was, well, what can we do? And we started assessing, well, what have been the most transformative agents of our lives? Number one, it's our relationship with God. It's our relationship with the continent and knowing who we are as African descended peoples. And it's our ability we know how to move in society.
Navigate,
So let's just start right there. We had no money. we had a little bit of money.
Okay, bootstrapped.
I don't recommend this to people when you start an organization, but we invested like $20,000 of our own money. Bringing people. It was a group of, I think, like 12 African American men, college age. 5 weeks here in Ghana. To leadership challenge. Our goal was to.
So you pay them to come.
So we pay for them to come. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I mean, through scholarship. I mean, they had to raise money. But through through the scholarships, the trips to get here, the setup, and all that, it was at least about $20,000.
Of course.
It's
a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
It's not cheap.
And our only vision was to basically, at that time, we didn't have a vision. Our vision now is to revitalize disenfranchised communities. But our vision was, let's just help Black men. At the time, it was only men. Now it's open up to men and women. Let's help Black men know who God has created them to be. And we know a central part of that is reconnecting with the continent. And so we said, what do we do with this whole Christian piece? We're not doing a mission trip because that's not what we do. Okay, well, let's infuse some biblical principles. So we created Ghana 360. The Ghana 360 program focuses on spiritual, culture, professional development. Spiritual, where we go into the scriptures, we look at African theologians, we look at, Pan-African leaders, and we draw out these principles. Cultural, because obviously we're connecting them with, even hearing from African lecturers and stuff like that. And then the professional development piece, actually leadership development, is focused on things like health and wellness, Health and wellness. So every day we would start our day with exercise.
Wow.
And it was mandatory. It was compulsory. Like you couldn't get out of it. And so our goal was, when you go back to the States, we want you to exemplify biblical leadership. How to utilize this system, because there's a lot of opportunity in this system.
There is.
And whatever God has called you to do it to the best of your ability.
Amen.
Utilize the loans, the grants, all the stuff, the education that you get here. But now, do it with a purpose. Do it with a purpose. And if we can help you do that, then, you know what I'm saying, we've accomplished our goal. So, long story short, man, through the years, we evolved from just a men-only trip to men and women, just from college age to all ages. And so now we mobilize people to come back and forth to the continent. And we're looking actually to create more experiences within the African diaspora. 2 other places we're looking at right now is Jamaica and Brazil.
Wow.
Because Brazil got actually the highest number of enslaved Africans through this transatlantic slave trade. And that has a significant impact on how the community was formed. And Jamaica, because that's a whole different experience of being, a person of African descent. And it's logistically, it's a whole lot closer to the States and a whole lot less expensive,
Wow. That's breathtaking. I mean, and how's the journey been in terms of like starting it and then where it is today? Like, has it been worth it? Like some of the transformations that you've seen people go through. I mean, this is like very unselfish. Like,
it's not easy, man.
It's not easy, man.
Charlie.
It's not easy.
Sometimes I look back and I'm just like, I'm grateful we didn't know what we know now back then.
Really?
Yeah, because we wouldn't have started. Because when you go through the process of knowing like the legal ramifications, the financial ramifications, like accountants, lawyers, and
it's too much.
It's the risk when you bring somebody here, even though they sign liabilities, but it's too much. So I'm grateful that we were ignorant in the beginning. The question is it worth it? Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Because I think about my experience. That it was a missions trip, but that trip to Africa in 2007. With the Impact Movement, literally was a catalyst of my spiritual and cultural transformation.
Wow. So, but let me get this right. Because of the experience that you had on that trip and the experiences you encountered in Ghana, you basically wanted everybody else, I mean, back in the States to experience this.
Yeah, I mean, that trip,
or as many as people as possible.
yeah, it just changed my mind.
Yeah.
And I came back again in 2013 with another missions trip. And that was actually the trip that made me realize I need to bring people back to Ghana.
Yeah.
And then I think a year later, I started having those conversations with my friend.
Wow.
But it was that trip that made me realize I forgot what this felt like, you know?
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I have to bring other people back.
Okay. When's the next? I mean, do you have programs planned for this year? How often do you do it? Do you
Yeah. So usually they're once a year. Right now, we're actually working on scaling up so we can do multiple ones.
Okay.
We're looking at the latter part of the year, but the dates have not been solidified as of yet.
Okay. Yeah, because of COVID as well. I mean, COVID is always.
Hey, man, COVID is like.
I mean, it's been quite a nuisance. It's hard to plan things with COVID being around as well. So yeah, hopefully that's something that can come to light this year.
Hey, we pray.
Really powerful stuff.